and we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, there's the Hawks, just way behind.
Well, right now for the Hawks, they've not achieved any of even the most modest goals they've set for themselves so far.
Well, it's been a tough year, Clark, no question. There's a lot of talk for them before the season about proving the doubters wrong. But at this point, the doubters look right.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Flash. He's got 32 points, and he's drained 3 three-point bombs so far.
Tell you what, he should not hesitate to keep firing from out there because he's got the touch tonight.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, thank you. As you know, Jeff Teague is starting to enter the upper ranks among point guards in the NBA, and he credits Coach Budenholzer for a lot of his growth. Teague said he always tells me, be aggressive. That is the only way I want you to play. When your coach is telling you that, there is no way you can't be successful. Kevin?
Well, he seems to be pushing the right buttons, Doris. Thanks. Horford with the screen on Evans. Here's Bazemore, covered by Evans. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
You know, the issue really with Atlanta this year and moving forward isn't that they're a bad team. They've just been kind of stuck in that middle road of mediocrity. They're competitive, play hard. They're hoping to find a way to get to the next level now.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. There's the dish to Cole. That is good.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Schroeder kicks to Horford. No good off the front iron.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Pelicans on top, ending the third quarter with a 13-0 run. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, it had to be this play, don't you think, Kevin?
Sure.
This is just a phenomenal pass. Made the defense look like they had no idea what was going on.
What precision with that pass.
Beautiful.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for New Orleans right now, Anderson with the inside. Norris Cole is out there with Flash, and it's Pondexter in at the small forward. And that one's good.
That's a nice play there. The more contributors this team can get, the better.
New Orleans gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Flash. Tries it from 9, and he gets it to go. Flash has got 34 points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
Mack the pass to Bazemore. Drains the three-pointer. Bazemore's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
Here's Flash, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Well, it started about a decade ago, but you would have to say that although the best players in the league might be wingmen, this generation is known for its point guards. There are a bunch of great ones out there, and that's pretty cyclical when you talk about the positions of dominance across the league throughout its history. It's been point guards, big guys, wingmen, and right now I think point guards are right there at the top of the heap.
Peroantich, he's checked in for the Hawks. Matt. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Point guard definitely a position where you can point to any number of players and say, Steve, they are the best player on their team.
Well, and what's funny is that there are so many different types still. I mean, pure playmakers, scoring guards, do-it-all kind of guys. But, you know, now if you don't have a point guard who's one of your better players, your team is going to be at a big disadvantage most nights.
Tony Douglas is checked in for Norris Cole. And a change for the Hawks. Jenkins checked in.
They've built this lead through plays exactly like that. He's easily been their most consistent performer.
Well, he's been splashing everything today.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Launches a three. The rebound by Withey.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Here's Flash. Passes it to Pondexter. Dishes it to Douglas. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
And we're seeing the shots just dropping from everywhere right now.
Yeah, since halftime, Steve, they've been operating very efficiently.
Mack dishes to Jenkins. And Muscala kicks to Day. There's a screen. Here's Jenkins. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
You got to be careful, though. There's a real balancing act. You can't let your ego try to run your offense. You could see he really wanted to answer that made three with one of his own. Not the best decision.
And that one's good.
Impressive play there, and they have been really good offensively.
Piling up the points en route to this big lead, guys. I mean, they've been unstoppable.
Here's Mack. And he can't stop the run as he misses. For New Orleans, they've gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. Got that one up quick. Flash has got 44.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. The defense hasn't been able to set up.
Here's Day. Gets to the corner and buries it.
Well, the old days of the dollar-for-dollar luxury tax are gone. The new, more punitive luxury tax really changing the way the league does business. Teams like the Knicks and the Lakers and the Celtics, high-revenue teams, they're not nearly as willing to go into that tax anymore. So it really has kind of leveled the playing field.
Here's Mack. Beyond the arc. And he gets it to go.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Douglas, the pass to Flash. Feeds to Douglas. He kicks to Withey. Now the pass to Flash. From deep. That's good with a Douglas assist. Flash has got 49 points in the game.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
And Muscala kicks to Jenkins. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot, and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
Here's Flash, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
Great second half. I mean, he came out of that locker room ready to play.
For Atlanta, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Mack dishes to Jenkins, lets it go from deep, and that's collected by Flash. Flash has got his 6th rebound on the night.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Over to the left wing. Pondexter, the pass to Douglas. That 3 off the mark. Atlanta's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the 4th. Rob off his leg, and the ref saying he kicked it. Pass to Flash. Well, guys, the D-League, a test bed for ideas that might, make their way to the NBA. And one thing we've seen there is a mission to get games down to 2 hours in length. They really want to shorten the length of these games.
Well, they've banned consecutive timeouts. They've reduced their number overall. The idea is to hold viewers' attention and provide time certainty for the broadcasters.
New Orleans gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. That's in, coming off a nice assist from Douglas. Douglas has got 3 assists now in this one.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
And condensing the game, we've seen it at the NBA level too, cracking down on pregame rituals and requiring players back on the court quickly after a timeout. The commissioner even talked to owners about shortening the game to 40 minutes, so less might be more in some ways. We'll see. I'm in agreement with that. I'd love to see some of the fat trimmed off the game. I don't know if 40 minutes is where I'd go, but some of the extra things that delay the game, I would love to see that pace picked up so there's not as much wasted minutes during the course of a 48-minute game.
Here's Mack, defended by Douglas. 6 to shoot. Here's Day. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Well, I think there's a couple of ways to shorten games. One is cutting down on the intentional fouls in crunch time. I think you could replace TV timeouts with live action advertising. Also, you might just shoot one free throw for the point value of a foul. I think the league is right to try to speed up the pace of the game, but it's a rocky road. You have to really think things through.
Flash passes to Anderson. Here's Flash. Another one falls for New Orleans.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Now here's Jenkins. Not a lot of room. Here's Mack. From outside, off the mark.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession. New Orleans making a switch here. Cole's checked in. Atlanta also making some changes here. Scott comes in for Parawantic, and it's Kent Bazemore in for Jenkins. They set the pick, and Max it to Bazemore. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Looking at the game Bazemore's been having, he's got 14 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Yeah, a lot of times he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there. Well, he cut into the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a difference.
Kicks to Pondexter. He feeds it to Cole. Shoots a 3. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
And we head to the final buzzer in a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. This will go in the books as a really gaudy win for New Orleans.
But, Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And with this win, they'll end up notching another victory for this year's campaign, win number 33.
Well, they're going to win again. Same result as the previous matchup between these two clubs.
And it's the last time they meet this year, so that'll make it a sweep of the season series.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Flash. He was doing everything right, and the points seemed to come in bunches. He definitely had the hot hand.
And he ends up missing both free throws.
Ryan Anderson, one of the sweetest shooting big men in the league. Deep range with that quick release. Tell you what, at his height, he doesn't need much daylight to get it off.
And you look at Ryan Anderson, he's an efficient scorer. Like a lot of shooters, he doesn't turn it over much while getting his baskets.
And three-point shooting may be never more in demand than it is right now in the NBA. And, Steve, considering, too, that Ryan Anderson has one of the more desirable contracts in the NBA.
Yeah, well, he's a true spread four who also does a nice job of getting offensive rebounds. And that's a good combination for somebody who spends so much of his time behind the arc.
The feed today. Gets it to go from 18 feet away.
Well, their offense has kicked into gear, but it seems to have arrived a little bit too late.
And as a coach, that can really be frustrating. I mean, your guys were stumbling along for most of the game, and now, when it's basically over, they finally decide to come alive.
Here's Flash. Gets it to go. From beyond the arc.
Terrific job taking